Well, I can tell you there are things that I do believe that you don't ever get over, but with time, you learn to move with it. You learn to live with it. You learn to get better from it, because I do believe there's some things that you're just not going to get over, depending on how severe that hurt was and what impact it made on you internally.
What's going on, squad? It's your wingman, Jetty Wynn, and your partner, your sidekick,
Jess.
Your wing girl, Jess. So today's topic is going to be, I know a lot of men, pretty much this channel, if you found this channel, it's going to be over breakups, divorces, and whatnot. And we've both been heartbroken. We both know how it feels to be divorced. You know what I'm saying? So if you're tuning into this video, you can ask questions for her on the bottom. And if you haven't yet, like and subscribe to the channel. So pretty much, Jess, how did you overcome a breakup? What was the biggest thing that you had to do to overcome that breakup that helps you?
I can tell you probably, well, everybody knows that like whenever you go through a breakup, there's like, you go through like, what do they call it? Like the 5 stages of grief or whatever. You go through like, you go through anger, sadness, and then like grief. And you definitely have to feel all of those things. Like you have to go through it, feel all of that, recognize what it is. And just my best advice is to go through it, sit with it, feel it. But also like I've always been the type of person where I push hurt and pain into myself, and I push it towards the right thing. So I've always been the one to push negative, like anything I'm feeling, like whether it's hurt or like, I always push it into positive things into myself. So like whether it's the gym, bettering me, I'm always on my next move to like, okay, what's gonna better me? What can I push that energy towards? I've never pushed it into, you know, alcohol, drugs. I've never been the one to, you know,
so don't cope with anything besides.
Yeah, because it's really easy to do that. It's really easy to like put that energy. It's like, it's human nature to like, when you're going through something really, really hurtful that you just want to lash out, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or going and sleeping around. I've never been that person to ever do that. I've always been the one to like drive it into positive things, no matter how bad I'm feeling. But you definitely want, like, you don't want to, what's the word? You don't want to ignore what you're going through. A lot of people, what they do as soon as they are heartbroken, and I'm guilty of it, like they jump to the next thing to like avoid, you know, like what they're going through.
So that's what I was about to allude to. Would you suggest somebody jumping into a relationship like you just mentioned? Is that something that you suggest, or would you say, like you said, go through that healing stage first? And because I see so many people, like I mean, we'll talk about my ex.
Well,
yeah, pretty much. If y'all,
I'm not gonna dog people that do that, because I've done that, and honestly, it's a distraction, and then you realize that it's just not the right thing to do for yourself, because when you've been so hurt, you're trying to, like, it's human nature to like want to ignore and shove all those feelings down, and you don't actually deal with what's going on internally. So then whatever is getting your attention, or like the first thing that, you know, catches your eye, like you cling to that instead of actually taking the time to like internally like heal and take time for yourself.
Facts. So,
and like I did that. I mean, I jumped into something for a few months and realized very quickly that it wasn't for me.
For men and for females, it's different, but the same thing goes for both ways on this one. Is if you try to jump into a relationship so fast, the thing is you don't have enough time to contemplate, to heal, to think, and you're gonna bring that same exact problem to the next relationship, because it's just it is going to be like that, because again, you haven't sat with it long enough. Time is the most,
oh my gosh, it's the best thing for you.
It's the biggest commodity that you can have, because time heals. Like y'all heard it right, time heals everything. Because I mean,
Well, I can tell you there are things that I do believe that you don't ever get over, but with time, you learn to move with it. You learn to live with it. You learn to get better from it, because I do believe there's some things that you're just not going to get over, depending on how severe that hurt was and what impact it made on you internally. But I will tell you from experience that jumping into something quickly after a breakup, a divorce, or whatever is not what you need to do. And like I said, I'm guilty of it. I'm not preaching from, inexperience. I'm preaching from experience.
Well, let's just say this, and we're going to not keep Jessica under the bus, but it's been a couple of years since I've had a breakup, and it's only been, how long, Jessica?
What, for me?
Yeah.
I was in a relationship a month ago.
So again,
but what I'm talking about, the scenario, like with jumping to the next person, this is something that happened 3.5 years ago.
Exactly. So we're not talking about that, but now
the recent thing is completely different.
Well, she has not jumped into a relationship now. No, she's taking the time to heal, recover. This is why we're doing these podcasts, just kind of figuring things out, learning herself, and just finding new avenues in life, because when you're
giving our experiences to the audience,
definitely.
And basically
I say it's more important to be single than to be inside a toxic relationship, because that can 100%. Be so draining.
100%.
And you're devoting all your time, your dedication, your focus on this one person that it might be even you. You never know. It could be you. You could be the toxic one. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror, right? When you're pointing at the finger at somebody, guess what? You got 3 fingers pointing at yourself, right, Jessica?
Yeah.
So a lot of people like to play the blame game, which I thought... even me, I was the controlling one, but really, I had boundaries. I had, you can call me controlling, but I have morals, right? I like the way things are, and if it doesn't go that way, then so be it,
Yeah.
So, it's tough.
I do think it's okay to compromise as long as it's for the right reasons, for sure. Like, you don't want to compromise for something that just doesn't make sense, right?
Definitely.
It needs to make sense.
Well, you can go either 2 ways, guys. Like Jessica just said. She just mentioned that you can either work on yourself or you can go the opposite way.
Right.
In life, you never stay stagnant, because your thing is you're losing time. You're wasting valuable time, and like we just mentioned, time, you cannot rewind time back. No. Money, Jessica, you can always get money back, right?
Yeah.
Money is important. Yes, it's important, but it's not the most important thing.
No.
Because what do they say, Jess? When somebody's on their deathbed, when somebody's sick,
you can't take any of it with you.
You can't take nothing with you, none of the possessions. But if you have 99 problems and you have one sickness problem,
right.
That one sickness problem is the only problem that matters.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about what clothes you're gonna wear, my makeup, my bikini, my lips.
Hey, stop now.
Sorry about that. I'm throwing her under the bus. So Jess actually has a bikini. What, we have a bikini photo contest?
Well, okay, so
2 events coming up.
This weekend, this Saturday, I have a photo shoot for my portfolio with my agent. That's going to kind of put my foot in the door for other opportunities. But next month, June 20th, I have a bikini contest in Kemah.
That's right.
So, got some things coming up in the works. Gonna be putting in that work. Ugh.
And we're gonna be showing y'all the event. Well, the first one I may show up, but the second one I'm definitely gonna go live on the YouTube channel, guys. So stay tuned for that. And I'm gonna post I'm gonna give y'all like a countdown, you know what I'm saying, to where y'all can actually click the live and whenever it plays. That way it's not just very randomly going, because some of us stuff has been random. It has been. So we're gonna dedicate a day that we're gonna give y'all content each and every day. Let's give them like 2. What should we give them 2 videos a week or what? 2 videos a week. So, it's got. once a week.
As far as like This Coast podcast, Jerry over here is a little entrepreneur, and he doesn't have a schedule like I do. I work Monday through Friday all day. So in my free time, I will be doing this. But he's kind of, he's pretty flexible. So it's been a... Stop.
Sorry.
You're ridiculous.
Okay, go ahead.
He's been great to work with. So I really look forward to doing this.
Yeah, so has Jessica. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up and land the plane. Pretty much, guys, you need to go through a healing process. Go through the phases. What do you want to call the 4 phases of?
Well, like I said, whether you get a divorce, get dumped, or just end a serious relationship, you're gonna go through all of those different feelings, and it's best not to jump into anything that's going to be a distraction, because you're not taking time for yourself to internally heal what's going on inside.
Oh, Jessica just got some nuggets.
You gotta make sure that you do that. You gotta take care of you first, because I'm gonna tell you, just like Drake said, love yourself, girl, or nobody will.
Okay.
You gotta love yourself first. You do.
Yeah,
you gotta
Drake.
fix what's going on in here, because if you don't do that, then you're not gonna be able to love anyone else. So.
Anything else, guys? I think that's it. So really, I know one thing is this. The Bible says do not love yourself. I mean, it doesn't even say that, but it doesn't say, like, you got to put yourself first. Like it says you have to fill up your cup. It says love thy other as you do upon yourself. So if you don't love yourself, if you don't put yourself first, then how can you give to others the same way?
You can't.
Because if you do not help yourself out, even like your kids, right? You have to be a good role model to them. You have to be at your best. Even when we're over here trying to do this, trying to perform, we have to give our best. Like,
yes.
we're not going to just half-ass what we do, because anything you do in life, really.
Well, whenever you have kids involved, it's more important, because you have somebody literally looking up to you. You have that sweet little being that all they know is you, and they're counting on you and looking up to you. In my situation, I don't have no kids, but whether kids or no kids, you have to internally fix what's going on, so you can be the best version of yourself, for whether it's a loved one, your kids, for the people around you, all your relationships. You're going to be the best version of yourself whenever you take care of what's going on inside.
Awesome, Jess. So that's it, guys. Episode 1 complete. That's a wrap, boys. Let's go. Good job, Jess. Let's go, baby. That was smooth. You like that?